A ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon has been announced, but will the war truly come to an end? Amidst this critical 10-day grace period brought about by President Trump's direct intervention, both sides remain entrenched in deeply conflicting positions. At this pivotal moment that will decide the future of the Middle East, what is really happening behind the scenes? Let's dive into the details. Even before the terms for the ceasefire of Israeli hostilities in Lebanon were finalized, the new agreement is already under immense pressure and facing significant challenges. Iran's ally in Lebanon, the Hezbollah organization, has made it crystal clear that it will not accept any arrangement that allows Israeli forces to operate freely inside Lebanese territory. They warn that the continued presence of Israeli troops on Lebanese soil grants the country and its people the legitimate right to conduct resistance. This statement marks Hezbollah's first formal response to the proposed truce and sets an incredibly hard diplomatic line. Israel, on its end, shows no signs of backing down. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that Hezbollah must be completely dismantled. He described the disarmament of the group as one of his central objectives. Netanyahu also flatly rejected international calls to pull Israeli forces back beyond the border, indicating that troops will remain deployed in southern Lebanon even under a ceasefire framework. Benjamin Netanyahu's statement: "We now have an opportunity to forge a truly historic peace agreement with Lebanon. President Trump intended to invite me and the president of Lebanon to try and advance this agreement to the next level. This opportunity exists because we have fundamentally altered the balance of power in Lebanon since the War of Independence. We deactivated their communication networks. We successfully eliminated the enormous arsenal of 150,000 rockets and missiles that Hassan Nasrallah had prepared to destroy Israeli cities. We eliminated Nasrallah. The balance of power has shifted so dramatically that in the last month we have begun receiving calls from Lebanon for direct peace talks. This is something that hasn't occurred in over 40 years. I responded to this call and agreed to a truce, or more accurately, a temporary 10-day ceasefire to advance the peace talks we began with ambassadors meeting in Washington. We have two fundamental demands. First, the total disarmament of Hezbollah. Secondly, a strong and sustainable peace agreement. To achieve a ceasefire, Hezbollah insisted on two conditions. Their first condition was that Israel must withdraw from all Lebanese territory to the international border. Their second condition was a quiet-for-quiet ceasefire. I did not agree to either of those things, and indeed those conditions are not being met. We are remaining in Lebanon. Furthermore, we have taken steps to expand our security zone. This is a security strip that begins at the sea and extends to Mount Dove and the Syrian border. This zone, 10 kilometers deep, is much stronger, more formidable, and a more continuous security barrier than what we had previously. Our troops are there, and we are not leaving. First, this allows us to halt the threat of invasion into our communities. Second, it allows us to prevent direct anti-tank fire into our villages. Of course, many problems remain. They still have rockets left. We will definitely address this as part of the progress towards a continuous security and peace agreement. But there's something else special. I spoke with President Trump just these past 2 days. He told me he is immensely determined to continue both the naval blockade and to bring about the total dismantling of Iran's nuclear capability. He is not giving up on that effort. He's showing that this threat can be eliminated once and for all. These two diplomatic moves will fundamentally change our security and international situation for the years to come. God willing, we will achieve it. It appears that both sides are still holding incompatible positions. For Hezbollah, the continued Israeli presence equals an occupation which they claim legitimizes armed resistance. But for Israel, however, withdrawing without dismantling Hezbollah risks leaving the threat intact just across the border. As negotiations move forward, this ceasefire is being shaped by two opposing interpretations of what stopping the war actually means. One side is demanding a full withdrawal, while the other insists on maintaining a permanent military footprint to enforce its security objectives. This contradiction is built into the deal before it is even signed. Nevertheless, as President Donald Trump announces a 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, hopes have been raised globally for at least a temporary pause in the conflict. This ceasefire is set to take effect today. According to Trump, this is the result of excellent conversations he held with Lebanese and Israeli leaders. The ultimate goal of this agreement is to create a pathway towards lasting peace. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio have been tasked with working closely with both nations to ensure the ceasefire evolves into something more permanent. The timing of this development is particularly significant. Just days earlier, representatives from Israel and Lebanon met in Washington for the first time in over 30 decades. Now, President Trump has officially invited Netanyahu and Lebanese representatives to the White House for the most meaningful talks between the two nations since 1983. The coming days will be critical for the Middle East. Amid high tensions and fragile trust, the success of this 10-day truce will determine whether the region moves towards stability or slips back into a violent confrontation. News never stops. The world keeps turning, and every turn tells a new story. Join us to discover the truth and deep analysis of wars, elections, and geopolitical shifts. Asia Tribune.